It's Dave Michaels from WEXT with Philly's own Kurt Vile. He's playing at Skyloft here tonight. Kurt, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah. Good
Want to
morning.
know.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah.
What is Philly's best kept secret?
Philly's best kept secret. Wow, that's tricky. That's a tricky question.
There's a lot of little intricacies of that city.
Oh man, what is? I think the secret of Philly is always like people who come through. They're like a lot of times they can't get a gauge on Philly. Like they come and play a show, and I feel bad for those people because I've been there. I've grown up there, and I know all the nooks and crannies or whatever, crammies or crannies. Either one. I know both of those, and but yeah, there's like Mount Airy. I moved over there, and there's like there's woods and things like that, but you're still in the city. That was a secret to me for a while, and then I really needed that. But yeah, I don't know. There's all kinds of music scenes. South Philly, Fishtown, and I don't know. There's all kinds of little secrets. It's kind of like once you live there, you're in the upside down, except it's like a vibey upside down.
Or bass backwards.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I love that town. What a great city. Great food, great drink. Pat's or Geno's?
Definitely Pat's, but I haven't had cheesesteaks lately, and I can't even have cheese anymore. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, definitely Pat's.
Definitely Pat's. All right. Are all loading zones created equal?
Are all loading zones created equal? No. You know, I would say. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you get the same fine for every loading zone. And then no, some are like 20 minute limit parking. Some are 30-minute limit. Maybe there's more, but they're usually somewhere in there.
Does the parking authority know you?
The parking authority is pretty cool because we put out that video where Kevin Corrigan plays a meter man, as well as Matt from Piss Jeans, another Philly. They're not a secret. They're on Sub Pop, but maybe they're a secret to some of the mainstream world. And anyway, Matt plays a cop, a meter maid as well. And when that video came out, did you see the video?
I did.
Okay.
Great video.
The parking authority tweeted at me, and so they're like, "Kurt, wow, we love your new video, but don't be alarmed. Don't be surprised if we put you on the boot and tow list."
Oh, have you ever been booted?
No, I've never been booted, but they had like a winky face. It was pretty cool. Very Philly to like.
We won't boot you. We'll wait, and we'll give you a warning, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, no, they said they would, but.
All right. Do you blow dry or air dry your hair?
I guess I don't dry it. I just let it dry in the world. So is that air dry?
Yeah, it's air dry. Okay, you have 2 daughters. What's the best parenting advice you can give to somebody?
Well, it depends on the type of family. But me, might be controversial to some, but they're just never going to have a phone until they're like 18. So they love it. They read books. They do. Yeah, they don't have any iPads or any of that stuff. I mean, we'll watch some things on the laptop now and again, but they're not.
And they haven't
been
attached for a phone?
No, they're in 6 and 9, but they're not gonna have a phone. Nope.
Good. That's very good. 8th album, Bottle It In. Is there a meaning behind the title?
Bottle It In. Well, mainly it's sort of the reason I titled "Smoke Ring for My Halo" that as well. It's my favorite song on the record. And it's kind of a deep song. It's called the title track, Bottle It In, just like Smoke Ring for My Halo was a deep song and my favorite song on that record, where it's like, at first it's kind of unassuming. It's simple, deceptively simple, and it could pass you by, and it just needed more significance on the record. But also, you know, I guess the idea of bottling it in, like keeping in all your feelings until you turn black inside. That's obviously not a good idea, but that was kind of we get that way sometimes, don't we?
We do. You covered Charlie Rich's Rolling with the Flow on the album. Of all the songs out there, why'd you pick that one?
Well, I mean, I've done other covers before, but that song spoke to me. It made me laugh.
Did it?
Jay Mascis turned me on, from Dinosaur Jr., he turned me on to Charlie Rich. He told me to check him out when I was getting heavy into country, and I was listening to various songs. I was listening to Very Special Love songs, burned from vinyl on a CDR, and And then I just found this greatest hits CD, and yeah, Rolling with the Flow. And Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. They're very similar vibes, and they just had this sort of swagger, and I knew it'd be cool to try to sort of cover it, sort of in the way Wilco covered Any Major Dude Will Tell You. It's sort of in that vein. It's like AM Gold, but I just knew nobody would be expecting it, and nobody could touch it in my world, and I knew I had to snatch it up. I kind of imagined it would be at the end of a record, but it turned a little too poppy AM Gold to even. It would be too weird at the end.
It sounds like a Kurt Vile song,
no, thanks.
too.
But yeah, people, you know, in this digital world, people don't see the liner notes, so people often think it's my song. I have to correct it. So good work.
And you do roll with the flow. You do. First instrument, a banjo.
Actually, first instrument was a trumpet, but the first instrument where I wrote my own music was a banjo when I was 14, yeah.
When you were 14.
Mm-hmm.
Was that when you knew this is it?
No, I liked it right away. Well, there was music coming out that was really inspiring to a teenager, like, you know, like Beck Loser, like the Loser single, and all these weirder things were happening, and I was really into that. And so for my 14th birthday, I got a banjo, and I remember around that time, my brother bought me the Loser single, and so I was definitely inspired, but I didn't know for sure. I was heavy into skateboarding, and you know, there were definitely skateboarding was my #1 thing, and I was into playing this banjo and making weird songs and listening to CDs, having my own CD player and going to concerts. But it was I can't remember if I was 15 or 16, I don't know anymore, I'm getting confused, maybe 15. I recorded, one summer I recorded a song on a 4-track. We borrowed a guitar, my brother borrowed a guitar from a friend, and then I went to a friend's house and his brother recorded me on the 4-track. I wrote this song, and then I heard it back, and then that's when I knew.
That's when you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Any guitar heroes? Anybody you look up to?
So many. We just finished playing some shows with Jay Mascis, the Dinosaur Jr., literally just left. We were hanging with him yesterday. And incredible. Neil Young, John Fahey. A lot of people in my heroes. Honestly, I wouldn't usually say this, but I just reheard his record yesterday. You know, that really weird record by John Frusciante. There's like a solo record he did when he was out of his mind.
Yes.
And I never heard it on vinyl, but the C side, he's just jamming this progression that I definitely subliminally steal, you know, since childhood. But it's just all instrumental and pretty psychedelic, and reverse guitars on the C side of that record. And but yeah, I don't usually say he at that moment he was definitely a guitar hero. And then, you know, then you can go into the Delta Blues, you know, Mississippi John Hurd, Charlie Patton, Blind Willie Johnson, Blind Lemon Jefferson. There's so many. That's just an example of some off the top of my head.
You draw from all of them for your own self.
Well, yeah, I mean,
music.
I draw just because I'm inspired anyway. I mean, I get it. I don't sit there and try to learn the licks, but through osmosis, they definitely happen.
Now, did you ever have a plan B?
Maybe for a split second, like I was in Boston. I was in Boston. My wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She was going to grad school at Emerson, and I worked at an air freight company. I was driving a forklift with a blue suit, like literally blue collar suit, and I kind of didn't like it at the time, but I did get really good at the forklift, and I kind of look back fondly, even though it was brutal. But I think after those 2 years, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college, because I should have been in college, you know, before then, but I didn't go. And I think I was just definitely beat down, like, oh, well, maybe I should go to school. But then I went to community college for a semester, and I didn't pay attention at all. I was just inspired writing music. You know, music is just, yeah, there's not really a plan B. But that one semester was entertaining, a fact. I did have a cool English class, you know.
Yeah. Well, thank God that plan A worked out for you.
Yeah.
Now, what's the best thing about touring?
What's the best thing about touring? Well, definitely you get high playing the show every night, ideally. But it does get a little grueling once in a while, and you're like, what am I doing? And I do get used to sleeping on the bus. In fact, we had a hotel room last night, but I knew we had to get up at like 10 to come here. So I just stayed up pretty late, got all my stuff together, and got on the bus and went to sleep. So I just woke up at like 2 in the afternoon. But it's just, you know, I work at night, so I'm used to that.
So what's the worst thing about touring?
The worst thing is once in a while you lose your mind and you get like kind of alone in your head, beat down, exhausted. But even that, like weird little things, like you figure it out as you go, like that sleep in the bus trick before you leave it early in the morning. That some of it's just that you're exhausted. So I discovered that allows me to sleep in, and then I won't be exhausted. And it's cool to be in a different place every day and see your friends, maybe go to record stores, music stores. I don't know, you know, it's kind of like time travel really, because the bus moves while I'm asleep and then I wake up somewhere else.
Do you ever bring your family on tour with you?
They visit in between when it makes sense. They've been to Australia twice.
Wow.
They met me in Bergen, Norway recently, and then the kids met Patti Smith. We played, it was like
wow.
Robert Plant, then us, and Patti Smith. And the girls,
wow.
My wife met Patti Smith. And yeah, there's some examples.
That's one of the best things about touring, I guess, right? Do you have any pre-show rituals that you do?
No. If anything, I take these like Ayurveda drops. My wife is into Ayurveda. It's like natural. It's hard to explain in a few sentences, but it's just like natural health. And I just take them and they calm me down. You know, I don't drink any alcohol anymore, so yeah.
Set list, does that change show by show?
It changes a little, but lately we got a pretty strong, solid set list, and we've been on the road so long that it's kind of easy to just. It's kind of like a piece. Actually, Jay Mascis said that the other day when I was like, yeah, we kind of stick with the set list at this one. He's like, yeah, it's like one piece. It's just easy because then you know what's going to happen, and within it, you're always playing it a little differently. But like in the solo section, I'll flip a couple songs or maybe change up the encore. But lately, we've got this kind of epic set list. Those are the songs that sound really good. That's where we're at right now.
You're going to draw from your entire catalog.
Well, eventually, it's easier to do that when you don't have a band that has to learn it all. Yeah.
Well, we can't wait. Kurt Vile and the Violators playing Skyloft tonight. Bottle It In is the brand new album. KurtVile.com is the website. Kurt,
cool.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you.